Good evening, everybody. This is Pamela coming at you with a video chat tonight before I head to bed. I know it's about 8:30 in the evening, so I won't make this too long. I'm hoping by sometime tomorrow I can get on here and talk more about what's happening tomorrow. But tomorrow marks the day that I hit the big 50. You know, the top of the mountain, as they say in life. And they say after 50, everything is on the down after 50. I'm hoping that isn't the case. Hey, hello. Welcome over here on the secondary page. I was hoping you'd come over here. Yeah, thanks. I'm hoping to be on here tomorrow, but I won't see my family until tomorrow night. We may go for Chinese. I don't know yet. Thank you. I appreciate it. I spent most of my day today working on my home channel, which my friend CEC Chicago is indeed a part of. And I'll be adding more to this birthday list over here, so you won't be missing much. I found a lot of Michael Jackson, Van McCoy, a lot of stuff from when I grew up, over 50 years. I'm hoping to add some Beatles, but you know how Apple Core is with that type of music, and how Michael Jackson's music has been kind of locked out of Facebook here lately, or YouTube. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I'm turning 50 tomorrow. Can you believe it? I grew up in the age of 8-track tapes, cassette tapes, and vinyl records, as a matter of fact. I've seen things change for the good, and I've seen things change for the bad. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling. Cancer sucks. There's a news lady here in my area that is dealing with it. She doesn't work for Channel 4 anymore. I think she's up in Cleveland or something. And her name is Olivia Fecto. She's got cancer in her chest. And it was probably the same type of cancer. Thanks. Yeah, I know. Disneyland opened. Yep. And Disney World started running their tram, their people mover. I was watching a lot of that video about the people mover opening up. And I haven't been to Disney World since I was 13 or 14. So, yeah. Imagine little tiny me in a wheelchair trying to look out over the crowd of people watching the parade at the end of the day. Yep, I hope it just holds out, with all this COVID crap going around. I can't remember much about my trip to the park because it was so long ago, but I do remember riding Space Mountain and watching the parade at the end of the day, and my dad won me a tiny little crappy looking Mickey. Yep. Places have really changed, you have social distancing and everything, but over 50 years a lot has changed. People aren't as nice to each other as they should be. Technology has most certainly changed. I mean, we used to have cassettes, records, 8-tracks. They used to have something called the mini disc for music. That didn't last long. We used to have Walkmans. We had just like 3 or 4 channels in the early days of TV. And we had the beginning of the digital age in the 1970s, going to HBO, then Cinemax, then Showtime. Then in the 90s, around 1998, they started going up toward the digital age. Then I think around 2009, they turned off the digital signal. I'm not exactly sure when they turned off the digital signal, but things have certainly changed, and mostly starting for the good in terms of Black Lives Matter and what's changing in our society. Um, some things good, some things are bad, but we have to learn how to roll with the punches. And I'm telling everybody tonight, I'm hitting 50 years old, and I'm very lucky to be here. Because back when I was born, they didn't really give me or my brother the chance to really see what we could prove to these doctors. They think they know everything. My twin brother came out after me, and he was shipped off to Children's when he had problems breathing. I stayed at the old St. Anne's Hospital with my mother. They put me in an incubator. You know, as Tommy Pickles would call it, I think I was put in a fish tank. You know, he says, when I was scared, I didn't know that was my mom. But when she held my hand, she never let go. Yep. Macy's is in a lot of trouble. And with my brother's situation, my older brother's situation, you know, they tried to screw him over on his pension, you know, when he had to give up his job. They basically told him they didn't have a job for him anymore, but he could come back to sell off the inventory if he gave up his pension. And he's like, no, I worked for that money. I'm taking my money and I'm leaving. Here's your shit. I'm leaving. And when he told me about that, and I said, it sounded like damn blackmail to me. And he says, that's what I thought too. So, yeah. And in case you were wondering, my brother made it back from his current job last night, early this morning, and he's going to make it to my birthday. And I'm glad for that because family is everything. You know, I've been through a lot in my 50 years, you know, being shortchanged by most of society, but I still have a good, strong family to support me and care about me and good friends that care about me. And I'm glad for that because I grew up in the era of disco and glam rock and big hair in the 80s and that stupid grunge rock that everybody was so hot for. And I still don't get that to this day. But you know, a lot of people didn't even know what a record was until they started this vinyl resurgence. And a lot of, I call them boomers of the 2000s, you know, the Generation Y boom that happened in 2000. You know, now they're in their 20s and 30s and they're seeing what we listen to as youngsters. And a lot of them are saying a CD is great, but a record's better. You know, of course, you have to be more careful with vinyl, but you could actually see the album art and you could actually see the personnel that worked on those records. And it's a treat. You know, it actually feels good to hold a physical album. MP3s and CDs are good, but vinyl is a throwback to what we enjoyed as youngsters. Some people wrote like little notes on their record jackets, or they drew like little pictures on their record jackets, and it's a lot of fun. I remember how we used to go to a place that sold 8-track tapes. You would go and you would look down through the rows of tapes, and you picked one, and it would push it out on a conveyor belt. You go to the end and you pick it up. Then you have the record stores. You can go in and buy like these big things they call records. And they didn't cost half as much as they do now. I mean, an actual single record was around maybe $7 or so. Um, but 50 years, man. I never thought I would see it come so quickly after taking so long, if that makes any sense. And if you think I've gone through happy and sad moments, yeah. I think that's why I haven't really slept well the last couple of nights, and I know my videos haven't exactly been very good. Like I've been acting tired and like I can't read, but that's what happens when you don't sleep enough. And I'm kind of going through the missing your parents blues. So, yeah. Granted, my let's see, my dad, he would be about 86, almost 87. He'll be 87 on the 12th if he was still alive. My mom would be 86 here in June. So, yeah. You know, when I hit 40, that was hard. It was the beginning of the reaching the top of the hill. And I had a hard time with turning 40 because it was just a few short years after I lost my dad. We all went together to some pizza joint down off of 33 somewhere. And it was me, my family, my brother, the one my brother married into with the 10 grandkids, they were all there. And when it came time to sing happy birthday, I broke down in tears because I was feeling old and I was missing my father. That's what I mean. When your parents go, you never really get over it. And those who say, well, maybe you should get over it. Well, you can't because they're your biggest supporters in life. And like I said, I'm still alive at 50 years old. I'm still able to walk pretty well. Not as well as I would like, but I walk pretty well. But it's just my way of putting the middle finger up to the doctors who said I wouldn't accomplish nothing. I made a little bet with myself when I was about 12 or 13 that I would still be walking by the time I was 50. Well, here I am the night before I turned 50, and I still walk and do whatever I need to do to get things done around here. And as I said, you need to get out there and live your best life, do the best you can, no matter what the odds are against you. You got to get out there and live your best life. So that's what I try to do with these video vlogs. And a lot of people don't like it when I talk about things that need to be talked about. Like, I heard about what's going on with old Rudy Giuliani, but we'll save that for another day. I don't want to bore you with those kind of details. I think you already know about that shit. And how Trump thinks it's all unfair that the FBI has gone after old Rudy. Well, you know what? If he wasn't playing around with the Ruskies, he wouldn't be under people's microscope now, would he? He hasn't lived his best life. He's a damn con man, just like his former boss. So, yeah. But turning 50. Damn. I grew up listening to Gordon Lightfoot, Al Stewart, the Bee Gees, Blondie. Let's see who else. Kim Carnes, Kenny Rogers. The Beatles in the 70s and early 80s. I think I got into the Beatles around 1986 or 87. So, yeah. Because it was around the time of the VHS age. Everybody was starting to get VHS tapes in their homes in the 70s and 80s. One of the first films I saw with them was A Hard Day's Night on VHS cassette. And ever since then, I've been addicted to them, too. But it's hard-pressed to put anything up with the Beatles on this platform. So I don't think I'll have any of them in my playlists for my birthday, because I know how their company, Apple Corps, can be. So, yeah. But I grew up listening to the likes of Barry Manilow and a little bit of Mickey Mouse disco mixed in there, Those were the good times, We had friends. We could go out to places and not have to worry about getting killed. And everybody knew everybody. And we need to get back to that. And that's what I mean by being good to your fellow person. And that's the problem. I have seen so much in the way of people killing each other over the most stupidest things. You know, I don't care if you hate them for their skin color or their political beliefs. Like Joe Biden said, we need to start coming together and curing this cancer that they call division. And there are some people that don't want to let go to the Trump playbook. That is the problem. You know, we'll see how he fares when he hits 85 to 90 years old, if he lives that long. Same thing for Rudy Giuliani. You betray our country the way they have, don't expect to be on my good graces. That's what I mean by not living your best life. If you spend your life screwing people over and doing wrong to other people, you're not going to look good in the eyes of most people. And anybody who follows those two clowns are as stupid as they come. You know, they're lucky to live past the age that they are. You know, I think they're both in their 70s. They're both fat and old as hell. And the people on Facebook are having a real field day with Rudy Giuliani and that Grecian stuff that they use in his hair. And they showed a picture of him looking like he's smelling his own farts. So, yeah, we'll see how that pans out in the coming days. But as I get ready to close this video out, I'm going to let everybody know I am turning 50 tomorrow. I intend to live the next 50 years, if I'm lucky, with dignity and with as much grace as I'm able to muster. You know, and I'm hoping to still be here in the next 5 to 10 years in this house. So, yeah. And as I've said, don't take a day for granted because you never know when something or someone is going to take it away from you. I've seen a lot of my friends go down that road of having a disability and then they get sick. And some don't make it to grow up. It's a hard fact of life, but it happens, but we deal with it and we move on. You know, and I proved to a lot of my doctors, yeah, I'm still here, son. Where the hell are you, in an old age home? You know, and what's nice is when you run into people that have taken you to school years later, you know, you don't see them, but they see you. I've had that happen. I was in a grocery store once, and I was helping my mom do something. I can't remember what it was, but this guy saw me from the back, and he knew who I was. And he hadn't seen me for more than maybe 25 years. He's like, Pammy? And I turned around, and there was a big, hulky black man named Johnny, who I knew him as Johnny the cab driver. He said, Pammy? And I said, Johnny? He says, yeah, you remembered me. And I said, yeah, I sure do. I remember you as the big guy who drove me to school. And he says, well, it's good to see you. I remember you wearing that little red dress with the white front. And I said, that's right. I used to have platinum blonde straight hair at the time. And with just this little girl. He's like, yeah, isn't it crazy how we all grow up and grow older? And I said, yep. And it wouldn't be the last time I would run into him. You know, if you really like somebody, you're destined to meet them again. I didn't get it until I watched Max Dugan Returns again after so many years of not seeing it. You know, I think it was Max Dugan who said, if you see somebody that you like, you're destined to meet them again. So never say never that you're never going to see them again. You know, and that's the truth. The second time I ran into Johnny the cab driver was one of the last times I was at a Kmart out in Reynoldsburg. And he was checking something out, and I was in a power chair by then. He says, oh, you got electric wheels. And I'm like, yeah, my arms is shot. He's like, huh? And I said, yeah, too much walking on my crutches. My shoulders are worn out. but I still walk, but just not as much as I used to. He says, well, it's good to see you getting out and about. And then maybe a year or two after that, I heard he passed. So the last few times I crossed paths with a former friend or colleague, as most people would like to say, in terms of helping the disabled, I'm glad I ran into him, because good friends like that are hard to come by. If they remember you, they remember you. And those who don't, it's their loss. And I'm glad I've had 50 years to be happy, be sad, and get mad sometimes. It's all a part of life. But if you're not willing to live your best life, then you really need to start thinking about why you're here and what your purpose is. My life might not be much, but it's mine. But I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances. And with COVID, it's hard to do. But I want to wish everybody a good night. And I hope to get back on tomorrow. We'll talk more about my birthday. We'll continue it then. I'm going to try and hit the bed a little early because I am tired. But I'm hoping to go and have a nice dinner with my family tomorrow. Don't worry, it won't be a big event. It'll just be family. Probably be me, my brother, John, my brother, Jerry, my sister-in-law, my brother, John, and my sister and her husband and their little daughter. So, yeah. I keep forgetting that Sarah is not a little girl anymore. But, I just hope she reaches 50 as gracefully as I have. But, don't take a day for granted, people. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Don't take a day for granted. Because too many people have lost loved ones within the last couple of years. Shouldn't have happened, but it has. And you take each day as it comes and you run with it. And follow your dreams. If you got the chance, follow your dreams. In fact, I might be trying to go see Genesis, the rock group, here in December, if I can get tickets. So I think they're playing at, I think it's the Schottenstein Center or something like that. But they're playing somewhere here in Columbus here in December. So, yeah, I'm hoping to get in on the pre-sale. And if not, I'm not going to worry about it. But, I'm always trying to do things up a little different. And I told my brother, I said I was definitely interested in going to that concert. But you never know. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm hoping to get on sometime tomorrow before I go to dinner. Because if I have a big, heavy meal, I'll probably be coming home and going to bed. But I think by tomorrow morning, I'm going to be dipping into some ice cream. And you're saying, what? Ice cream for breakfast? You can't do that. And I'll say, yeah, I can. Because it's my birthday. It's my birthday and I'll do it if I want to. Do it if I want to. Do it if I want to. Watch the Rugrats. Watch Tommy's first birthday and one about Angelica's birthday party. You get to eat cake and ice cream until you throw up. And that's exactly what I intend to do. It's just one day out of the year. I've been really good on my diet, so it's just one day. Let me enjoy it. I'm hoping to live the next 25 to 30 years, however long my ticker will give me. I call it the life clock. I'm hoping to make the next years of my life the best that they can be, even if it's helping out family and being there for them. If that's what I'm meant to do, then that's what I'm meant to do. So, yeah. Take care of yourselves. I'll get back on tomorrow when I'm not so tired, and we'll talk more. I'll either talk here or I'll talk on my main channel. So keep an eye out. Have a good night, everybody. Take care of each other, and please stay safe. Even if you're vaccinated, take any precautions you can to make sure you take care of yourself and your family. Because believe me, Family is the best thing you will ever have in your life. They're your first best friends if they're good enough. And if they treat you like crap, then you got good friends that'll back you up. So don't take advantage of those friends, because you never know when their day is going to come. And I intend to live mine to the full. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good night, and thanks for coming to EC Chicago. I certainly appreciate it. Good night.